So, good evening everyone. Today is the Monday the 25th of May. Only a few days left to come to the end of the May. We're all gathering this time to do our regular chanting, to show our respect and veneration to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion towards all sentient beings. So today, again, we had different activities. In the afternoon, there was Mindfulness Monday at the Health Village. And here at the center, Jawanapanyo was cutting the grass and helping out Chanvit and Ekachai, along with the pole. Preparing the foundation around the Kuan Yin and all the 8 marker stones. And now all the marker stones been properly established, and tomorrow we will be cleaning all the marker stones again and putting the gold leaves, all the gold leaves that we have. So we will go around and blessing it. And once it's done, then we will be putting some lessons to harden it. And that's how that will be ending of the marker stone enshrining, to make the place more sacred. And I'm so grateful for all the donation that people have given for these 5 bags, and let me find them, where is it? 5 bags and 5 bags of stones, and blocks, brick blocks, and lessons. So we have sponsors from London, Punyamut, Lamai, Kanokwan, Mekamai. So all total over £200, £240 towards these stones. As soon as I spoke about these stones, and Tanchanvit spread the word that we are requiring these, and it costs about 59 per bags. Then he shared this with his circle, and these sponsors sponsored from London towards these stones. So it's very grateful for their support, along with these stones and brick blocks. So Chanvit and Ekachai are not here only to work. They also spread the good news of the center and encourage other members to be part of a merit making and a part of developing the center. They're not good at building up a relationship or communication skills with other members, but they are good in terms of work they normally do. And after the work done, they will just depart for themselves and keep themselves. In a way, that is the monk's life. It should be the monk's life led that way. Only concern of the work and less communications with the lay devotees. And these two monks are hard-working monks, and then also encouraging other members to be part of a development and a part of a merit making. Sometimes because they don't speak and they speak only related to the work, people may feel uncomfortable or a little bit of a harsh because they don't speak what's called a sweet speech to please people. Now we normally like people who speak sugar or coated speeches, and we're believing in that. But these two monks are not. So these two monks are normally thinking about the work, and then after that they will disappear into their own chambers. When I was in the forest monasteries, if I happened to be speaking with the devotees, the head teacher or head of the monk will come and say that go and train yourself before talk to any other members. And if someone is giving instructions on the Dhamma, then the head monk would scold them that you haven't trained yourself and you are here to teach others. So like that. So always we had a fear of going out and talking to lay devotees. Always wait for the master to come and teach. So with that, our concern is only about the work in the temple and work on ourselves. But living in the West is different nowadays. Living in the West, people are not acquainted with such tradition. People like monks who pleases, welcomes and offers, or and so on. Hospitable or hospitality. And this is again, as living in the West, we have to do those hospitality, simply to welcoming people, and people often attach to it and indulge in it and thinking that whenever they come to the temple, monks will be there to serve. And that's a wrong attitude. Monks are there to please, and that's also a wrong attitude. Some will do, that's good. Technically, monks should not be doing it. Yeah? Like that. So monk's life is very different in the West. But nevertheless, we are trying our best to live monk's life here and as close to the rules and regulations of the Buddha that the Buddha laid down. As lay people have 5 precepts to follow, monks have many, 227 rules. And within that 227 rules, now if we remember it, it's good, so that we can reflect again and again. But if we can't, then don't need to worry. Just go and read, just to familiarize with it. But the most important is the etiquettes, so-called the Sakya what is more important. The Sakya what is something that demonstrate the behavior and also restrain our actions. In terms of a behavior, when we stand up, we are restraining our senses. When we walk, we are restraining our senses, our physical body. We try not to touch other people as much as possible when we walk, when we stand, when we sit, not causing any harm to anyone, even the slightest thing. And if it's related to, again, female, we try avoid any contact as much as possible. Which is the reason why when they offer, particularly female devotees, when they offer, we put the cloth to receive their offerings. I remember there was one occasion when I used the cloth to receive the offerings, and this lady was very unhappy and said that the discrimination, misogynists, and so on. And that's misunderstanding. Then I had to explain that it's not about the misogyny, it's not about the discrimination, but it's about protection, protecting both sides, monk as well as female. So that there is no even a little gap to develop any sensual pleasure or entertainment of the senses. If you look at the Buddha's teachings, when the Buddha just about to enter the Parinibbana or the death, Venerable Ananda went up, who was the attendant of the Buddha for 25 years, and asked that how one should treat to female. Then the Buddha said that if not necessary, do not talk, do not see. If necessary, see or talk only what needed. And if you have to explain, always keep in your mind that they are either sister, a brother, a sister, or a mother, and so on. Simply to protect, to have any sexual desires emerges in the monk's life. So avoiding as much as possible. So that's why whenever we are working with our upashikas, Pali word for the lay female members, upashikas, we try to restrain our senses as much as possible. We may go around with them, but our senses are always composed, and not to make any jokes or not to make any hints that can make misunderstanding or that can cause misunderstanding. Which is the reason And particularly in the West, we have very limited lay devotees, lay male devotees. Pretty much majority are the female devotees, members of the community. So restraining our senses are so important, and always speaking on the Dhamma, not other than that. Obviously, going around with the female, then people may perceive differently, perceive in wrongly, and that can cause a trouble too. And they can make a story out of it and spreading it as well. In those cases, we have to be very careful that we haven't done anything wrong, so we not need to think about it or be disappointed on others' speeches. All what we need to be mindful is that our conscience and our practice is clear. And that's only possible because we have restrained ourselves. And even when we go into others' house as a monk, we have to be very mindful, not wandering around different rooms. If we were allowed to sit in one room, we should be sitting in that one room, unless we have asked the permission to move into another room, or unless they have asked us to move on to another room. Meanwhile, when we go into the other's house, try not to make any mess or comments on the things that they are living. As humble as possible, and not to be burdens to the family members who invited us. Not too much demanding, and not too much causing troubles. Be satisfied with what's been given. And even wearing robes, wearing neatly as much as possible. And when we are eating again, and not making a sound, so-called chapu chapu karakam punyasami ti sikha karaniya. Not chapu chapu karakam, not making a sound, chopping sound when you're eating. Not making a big spoons. Suppose we are sitting together, and then again always give senior monks priority. Always offering to the senior monks. And these are some of the etiquettes are more important than anything else, other precepts. Because if we do not train on that, these little etiquettes, people begin to speak, and people begin to gossip and make a story out of it, that what kind of a monk is he? Even just sitting, he can't sit still. He's making so many comments of this and comments of that. Why that monk has got so much demand of this and of that. So with that discourages people to make a merit. They may do it, but their faith has been troubled. Next time they may not do it again, or they may not be coming to the temple to make a merits. So with that, we became a cause to obstruct others to make a merit. And as a monk, we always have to think about what my behaviors are. how my behaviors are, and how am I behaving. So these are some of the things that we have to be mindful of. Further on, we have to remember that we have given up our old habits and have taken on new habits, the noble habits. And these noble habits not only safeguards us, but also safeguards others. And always remembering that we are so fortunate that we are given these privileges of a house to stay, or the place to stay, food to eat, and so on. One of the important principles that we have to remember is that we are not living in accordance with the worldly aims and values. We are not thinking of prosperity. We are not thinking of beautification. We are not thinking of expansion of our wealth. So we have to reflect on that again and again. And we have to think about the living formal habits. Whatever formal habits that may cause the trouble and also obstructs the cultivation. Always mindful of our conducts, our actions, which may bring regret. So always being mindful and reflecting on these things will really keep our senses restrained. Now further on, we have to remember that the days and the nights are relentlessly passing, and every day, every second is killing every minute is killing every hour is killing the day, every day is killing the week, and then every week is killing the month, and every month killing the year. Don't be heedless, thinking that I will be living still long hours, will be living more years. So knowing that a short period of a time that we have, reflecting on that, how well am I spending my time as a monk? And understanding that every action that we do, it has a reaction, and we are the heir to the karma, born of our own karma, and we are related to the karma and abide supported by our own karma. And further on, the Buddha encouraged us to live life secluded, not associating with too many people, not enjoying association with other people, or mingling with other people, or laughing and having fun with other people, but rather practice, study and practice, find solitude. So these are the etiquettes and some of the reflections that as a monk have to reflect again and again. And that reflection actually helps us to flourish in the Dhamma, and slowly our mindset will be changing, our understanding will be changing, and we become more humble. And how humble do we become? And we also appreciate our masters, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and all the supporters, that how kindly they have been supporting. And with that reflection, what happens that whoever comes and offer things or engage in the temple's activities, they will rejoice and they feel happy. So we become a cause for their happiness. And every time when they come to the temple, they feel so calm and so happy and gain more merits. So that's why this is a monk's rule, that 227 rules. But most importantly, these etiquettes and reflections are key to generate faith within us, as well as faith in those who don't have yet, and those who have faith. The faith becomes firm, establishes, and their merits will help to live their life happily. And the miseries that they are going through in their families, in the work, in the worldly affairs, at least we have managed to ease their suffering without telling anything, without teaching, without speaking, but simply living in accordance with these rules and regulations. And these etiquettes are the key factor to encourage others to gain the faith and develop the merits that they should acquire. So I offer this as a reflection for tonight. May we all grow in the Dhamma and find the path and fruition in the future. So let's do the chanting.